Well, I am officially now a member of the Subpoena Serena Club. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your number one source for everything It Ends With Us saga. I am officially the latest victim of the zero-time Oscar-nominated actress. Yay! Do you want to know everything that is being asked of me? Yes, you do. That's why you're watching. So let's go through this. Documents to be produced. Request for production number 1. All documents and communications concerning any agreements, draft or final, you have with anyone, including but not limited to counsel for the Wayfarer parties that were effective at any point from May 1st, 2024 through the present, without regard to the date of drafting or execution, concerning the consolidated action, Miss Lively, Mr. Reynolds, any Wayfarer defendant, the digital campaign, the marketing plan, the film. I have not yet responded to this subpoena, which was just served to me today. I am representing myself. I don't have a lawyer working with me on this, so it's going to take me some time to thoroughly digest this, and I have 14 days to officially respond. But right off the bat, the wording of this is extremely problematic. The way this is written by her high-paid lawyers makes it seem to me that they're asking for all agreements that I have had from today back through May of 2024. All agreements as it is worded here. Doesn't that seem like overly broad and unnecessary? For example, I have an agreement to pay my electricity bill every month. If I am reading this correctly and being thorough, they're asking me for that. They're asking me for my cell phone bill. They're asking for every agreement of mine from May 1st, 2024 through the present. It's going to be quite the response that I have to this subpoena. Request for production number 2. All agreements, draft or final, you have with anyone, including but not limited to counsel for the Wayfarer parties that were effective at any point from May 1st, 2024 through the present, without regard to the date of drafting or execution, concerning the consolidated action, Miss Lively, Mr. Reynolds, and Wayfarer defendant, the digital campaign, the marketing plan, the film. That second request for production sounds almost identical to the first one. Like I said, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm having fun pretending to be one, and I'm going to have to really sit down with this and analyze it. And also, why is Ryan Reynolds such a player in this subpoena request? Because he's not a party to the lawsuit anymore. Request for production number 3. All documents and communications regarding your digital, online, content creator or influencer services or strategy concerning the consolidated action, Miss Lively, Mr. Reynolds, any Wayfarer defendant, the digital campaign, the marketing plan, the film, in connection with or on behalf of the Wayfarer defendants or their counsel. For the avoidance of doubt, this request includes circumstances in which any Wayfarer defendant or their counsel or anyone acting on their behalf provided you with any information that you included or relied on in any of your content on whole or in part, including but not limited to, as a blind item. Ooh. I might have to meet and confer with the lively parties because, once again, the wording here is confusing. What do they mean or are implying by my services? My services? I just went up above where they go through the definitions for everything, and they did not define services. Fail. It's not funny. It's a fail. Request for production number 4. All documents and communications concerning any statements, talking points, scripts, theories, assertions, questions, advertisement, claims, or similar, including preparation, revision, and timing of publication thereof concerning the consolidated action, Miss Lively, Mr. Reynolds, any Wayfarer defendant, the digital campaign, the marketing plan, the film that were made in connection with or on behalf of the Wayfarer defendants or their counsel. For the avoidance of doubt, this request includes circumstances in which any Wayfarer defendant or their counsel or anyone acting on their behalf provided you with a statement, a script, talking points, or any other information you included or relied on in any of your content in whole or in part, including but limited to, as a blind item. Wait. I had to read that again. Yeah. The last request said, including but not limited to, as a blind item. This request says, including but limited to, as a blind item. Ay, ay, ay. This subpoena is very poorly crafted and very, very confusing. Right? Why are they contradicting themselves? This is why I'm going to take my time, thoroughly read, digest, sit with, and make sure that my response or responses or clarification that I seek are all appropriate, measured, and legally grounded. But there is even more that is being asked of me. Request for production number 5. All documents and communications reflecting or concerning any payment, gift, or favor related to or resulting from any formal or informal agreement or understanding with any of the Wayfarer defendants or their counsel or anyone on their behalf concerning any content you created or shared concerning Miss Lively, Mr. Reynolds, any Wayfarer defendant, the digital campaign, the marketing plan, the film, or your public statements or your views regarding the same. Oh my God. I would have been a really good lawyer because this is raising a lot of red flags in so many ways. I have been covering Taylor Swift's former bestie for a very long time. And if I'm reading this request for production number 5 correctly, they seem to also be asking for content that I shared that is very old, that predates 2024. This seems irrelevant and unduly burdensome. It might have been good for them to include relevant time frames in each request for production. But like I said, I'm going to sit back and have some poolside reading with this over the next number of days. I have 14 from today to respond. And I've still got a lot more responding to do, such as for request for production number 6. All documents and communications reflecting or concerning any statements or drafts provided to you by any of the Wayfarer defendants or their counsel, including in connection with any Google document or co-working platform, including without limitation Google Drive, Google Docs, Microsoft OneDrive, Dropbox, iCloud Drive, and SharePoint. And perhaps the broadest request of them all, save the best for last. Request for production number 7. All documents and communications between you and any Wayfarer defendant, their counsel, or anyone on their behalf concerning Miss Lively, Mr. Reynolds, the digital campaign, the marketing plan, the film, or the consolidated action. And one thing is glaringly obvious after having read all of this. I almost feel a little pity for her. I mean, she is very pitiful. The basement manager, the unliftable Blake Lively, is going to be in for quite the disappointment when she figures out that there was no orchestrated campaign with creators against her. When she realizes that none of the many people she's subpoenaed recently, none of them were paid. She or her team convinced her that that's the most likely scenario. And they are sadly mistaken, as well as just being sad. Mwah, mwah. So my friend, if any lawyers are watching and you have any, I don't know if I'm allowed to ask for legal advice, but if there's any information that I should be aware of, anything that I should look at more or look into, anything that you think could be helpful to me, please let me know in the comment section. Okay, thoughts on everything? Let's discuss.